Center yourself, center your brain, center your body. We're up for a bit of an express flow today, so we'll get started. Just settling in with 3 ohms. So feel your sit bones grounded down, shrug your shoulders up by your ears, roll them back, open your heart, open your lungs. And together, take a deep inhale. Just sitting for a few breaths with that vibration, settling into your space, into your body. And really maybe feel your toes start to tingle with the sound of Om all the way up to the top of your head. Energizing your body from the inside out. Gently let your eyes blink open. One more time, shrug your shoulders up by your ears, roll them back. Send your palms toward the front of the room and take a nice big stretch up overhead. Joining your pinkies up overhead, rolling through your palms, squeezing into the midline here, pulling your shoulders down away from your ears as you tuck your tailbone down a little bit, engaging your core. Nice long, straight front and back of body. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Next inhale, reach up a little bit higher with your fingertips. Then let your left hand fall next to your hip as you take a nice big side stretch over to the left. Ground down through your right sit bone. Reach up and over with your right arm. Gaze above your elbow. Start to feel your rib cage expand all up the side of your body. One more breath here. Next inhale, come back through center. Take one more inhale, reach it up, lengthen. And then exhale, right hand comes down, left sit bone grounds. Take this nice big stretch. Good. Even maybe try to rotate your palm toward the back of the room so your pinky's facing down, right? Gazing up. Exhale here. Next inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms toward the sky. Gaze is up. Core is engaged. And as you exhale, press your palms forward as you tuck your chin, round your spine, find length down the center. Really press forward with those palms. Like you're gonna smush up against the wall there. Good, and then press back with your hips. One more breath here. Next inhale, take it back up overhead. Let your left hand fall next to your hip. Take your right hand to your left ear and just take a nice gentle neck stretch here. Keep stretching your left fingertips down, lengthening the side as you gently pull your head toward your right shoulder. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, just dip your chin in toward your armpit here. Just change the angle of the stretch. Nice gentle pressure, pulling your head to the side. Inhale, come back up through center. Release your right arm up, let it float down next to your right side, and then switch sides. Left arm reaches up. Grab the outside of your head on the right. Palm is cradling there. Good. Take a nice neck stretch here. Keep stretching those right fingertips down, lengthening down the side of your neck. And then on your next inhale, just tip your chin in. Maybe moving the stretch a little bit more toward the back of your neck. Exhale here. Next inhale, take it back up overhead. Reach both arms out for one more big full body stretch. And then as you exhale, let your palms fall to the mat in front of you. Coming into tabletop, close your eyes for a moment here. Just move organically. Do something that feels good, right? Maybe some hip circles, lazy up dog. An active child's pose can sometimes feel good. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Good, come back to tabletop. Press your palms into the mat, shoulders right over your wrists, and we'll take a few cat-cows to warm up the spine. So really press into the mat with your palms as you arch your spine, spread your collarbone, gaze moves up, tailbone toward the sky, belly drops. And as you exhale, press into the mat to round your spine, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone down. Inhale, arch it up. Exhale, round it down. One more time, arch it up. Exhale, round it down. Good, coming back to neutral, tuck your toes under. Press into the balls of your toes, press into your palms, let your knees hover off the mat for just a moment. Feel your core engaging here. Good, pretend you're squeezing a block between your upper thighs, really engaging into the midline. And then as you exhale, slowly make your way into your first downward facing dog. So when you get there, just pedal it out. Bend your right knee, bend your left knee. Take notice of your palms pressing into the mat. Right, that's your foundation. From your down dog, just lift your fingers up off the mat. Really press the palms into the mat. Find extra lift and length up and back towards your side body, all the way to your hips. And then gently replace your fingers onto the mat. Right, you kind of don't notice, but a lot of times you dump weight into your fingers or your toes in the standing poses. So just even to making a little adjustment of lifting the fingers and toes up off the mat, you can find new engagement up your body. One more breath here. On your next inhale, roll forward to plank, really exaggerate. Tuck your tailbone under like you're making a wave. Pull your shoulders a little bit in front of your wrists here. And then as you exhale, let your belly fall toward the mat, coming into this tuck-toed upward facing dog. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, send your hips back towards your heels, press it back to downward facing dog. Good, two more like this. Roll forward, tuck your tailbone down, lift your belly away from the mat, pull yourself forward to a plank. And then as you exhale, let your belly drop toward the mat as you open your shoulders, tuck-toed upward facing dog. Bend your knees deeply, send your hips back and up to downward facing dog. One more time, undulating the spine here. Coming high on your toes as you pull yourself into plank. Drop your belly, open your heart. And then as you exhale, press it back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog. Stacking your right hip on top of your left as you bend your knee, open up a little bit more, and then start to make some circles in both directions, right? A few in clockwise and a few counterclockwise, just opening up the hip joint. On your next inhale, send your right leg all the way up toward the sky. Come high on your left toes. Gently bend into your left knee. Send your chest back toward your thigh. As you lift your right toes a little bit higher. Find the lift from your core here. One more breath. As you exhale, roll forward to plank, hug your knee in towards your chest. And on your next exhale, step your foot in between your hands, coming into a runner's lunge here. High on your fingertips, heart is moving forward. Gaze ahead. Good, rock back and forth on the ball of your left foot. Starting to warm up the front of the left hip. Inhale here. And exhale. On your next inhale, let your left knee fall to the mat. Untuck your toes, bring your hands up to your knee. Good, tuck your tailbone under. Bring your torso nice and tall here. Good, press into the left knee to lift your torso up as you gaze up. And then as you exhale, let your hips drop as you sweep your arms all the way up into Anjaneyasana. Breathe here. Good. Let your hips sink, but don't dump the weight into your lower back. Kind of tuck your tailbone under to protect that area of your back. Gaze is up, shoulders are pulling down. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, hands come to either side of your front foot. Straighten your right leg, come into a half split. So press your right heel into the mat. Pull your heart forward as you inhale. And exhale, fold down over that nice active leg. You can windshield wiper your foot side to side. Do what feels good. Inhaling and exhaling. Sending that breath to all the tight spots. Good, coming back to center. Tuck your back toes under and step it back to downward facing dog. Next inhale, left leg reaches for the sky. Then open your hips, stack them. Bend into your left knee. Open up a little bit more and then start to make those nice big circles, warming up the hip. 2 or 3 in one direction. And then switch directions. Just taking notice, right? Not judging. Taking notice of where you are right now. Next inhale, reach that left leg up toward the sky. Those toes are reaching for the sky as you come high on your right toes. Bending gently into your right knee to send your chest back a little bit further as you lift up a little bit higher with your left toes. Next inhale, roll forward to plank, hugging it in. And as you exhale, drop your foot in between your hands. Come up on your fingertips, nice long spine here as you rock it out. Right? Really notice the pressure of the ball of your big toe on your right foot, pressing into the mat. Not letting your hips sink. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, drop your right knee to the mat, untuck your toes. Press your hands into your left leg as you tuck your tailbone under to lift your spine, stretching the whole front of your right hip. One more breath here, engaging. And then as you exhale, sweep your arms up to the sky as your hips lower toward the ground, coming into Anjaneyasana. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears, make space for your heart to lift a little bit higher. Exhale here. One more deep inhale, you reach up with your fingers, sink down with your hips. And as you exhale, hands come to either side of your front foot. Straighten that left leg, really press your heel into the mat. Take an inhale here to lengthen, and then exhale, fold it down. Good, if it felt good on the other side, windshield wiper your foot side to side. Exploring the different parts of your hamstring, right? Different parts of your hip. Breathing in and breathing out. Next inhale, come back to center. Plant your left foot into the mat, tuck your right toes, step it back to downward facing dog. Come high on your toes and start to walk your feet toward the top of the mat. Straight legs, navel moving toward the sky. Arrive at the top of your mat, feet hips width distance apart. And then exhale, just let yourself hang in the forward fold, grabbing opposite elbows, maybe crisscrossing behind your legs, pulling yourself a little deeper. Wherever you are, let the crown of your head pull you down. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Good. On your next inhale, bring your torso halfway up. Bend deeply into your knees. Let your chest fall onto your thighs as you interlace your fingers behind you. Good. Think about your torso being parallel to the mat if you can. Gazes ahead. Pull your shoulders back. Let your hips sink a little bit deeper. Try not to lose contact if you can with the chest and the thighs. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, fold down again over straight legs. This time your knuckles are reaching up for the sky and then over your head. Inhale here, come back to that squat. It's like a skier squat, I guess. Pulling your shoulders back, chest ahead. Exhale, fold down over those straight legs. Good, in this folded position, make sure your feet are hips width distance apart. Keep your fingers clasped up overhead. Gently bend into your right knee. Try to nuzzle your shoulder inside your right knee and open your heart to the left. Keeping your knuckles back behind you. Gazes up over your left shoulder. Press into the mat with your left foot. Feel that nice opening in the outer left hip. Inhale, come back to center. Switching sides, bend into the left knee. Nuzzle your left shoulder inside if you can. And then open your heart to the right. Gaze up above your right shoulder. Press into the mat equally with both feet. Exhale, come back to center. Release your hands down. Tuck your chin. Gently bend your knees and roll yourself slowly all the way up to stand. Taking your arms out and up overhead. Joining them in prayer. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Keeping your eyes closed for just a moment. Set an intention for your practice. Taking this time, especially in this busy, crazy time of year, is so important. So thank yourself here. As you exhale, let your arms come to your sides. Gently let your eyes blink open. Toes and heels touching at the top of the mat. Warming up with some Surya Namaskar A. As you inhale, reach your arms up, palms press overhead. Tuck your tail down, lengthen your front body. Exhale, fold down over straight legs. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down to chaturanga, elbow squeeze in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in.
And breathing out, right? Maybe pedal it out and then try to find some stillness. Focus on one part of your posture here. So maybe it's your palms, maybe it's your navel or your shoulders, and kind of really focus on getting those into alignment, really engaging. Every muscle is engaged in this pose. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Good, one more time here. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, plant your palms, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press into your palms, open your heart. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. In this downward facing dog, maybe micro bend your knees. Feel your sit bones kind of separate and move up toward the sky when you do this. Good. And with that space, start to straighten your legs as your heels drop back down toward the mat. Maybe folding a little bit deeper into this downward facing dog. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up, reach up, palms press. Exhale, arms by your side. Hooking your thumbs in front of you, toes and heels are touching. As you inhale, reach up, look up, arch back. Exhale, bend knees, swing arms, clasp hands, fold down over straight legs, pull those shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, hands to the mat, right foot steps back, lunge, gaze ahead. Exhale, left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide it forward to cobra. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Let your breath guide you. Inhale, right foot forward, lunge. Exhale, left foot forward, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, reach up, look up, arch back. Exhale, bend knees, swing arms, clasp hands, fold it down. Inhale, hands to the mat, left foot steps back to a lunge. Exhale, right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower, look ahead. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide it forward, a low cobra. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward to a lunge. Exhale, left foot forward, fold it down. Inhale, bend knees, hook thumbs, reach up, look up, arch it back. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Taking a moment here to reset. Catching your breath, finding some evenness in your inhales and exhales. Getting ready to move on to sun B, toes and heels touching at the top of the mat. As you inhale, bend your knees deeply, rise up to Utkatasana. Hips are dropping, fingertips are reaching for the sky, chest is reaching for the sky, then tuck your tailbone under. Inhale here for one more breath. Exhale, fold down over straight legs. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lower down to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward, rise up to warrior one. Pause here. Breathe in and breathe out. Press into the outer edge of your back foot. Pull your hips square toward the front of the room. One more breath here. As you exhale, hands come down, step back, lower down to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward, rise up, warrior one. Pause here, find your foundation. Good, bend deeply into that right knee. Inhale here. Exhale, one more breath with your tailbone down, lift your heart. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Good. Finding evenness in your inhales and your exhales. One more round of breath here. Breathe in, fill up. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend knees, reach up, Utkatasana, drop those hips. Exhale, fold it back down, Uttanasana. Inhale here to lengthen, pull your heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, step or jump back, lowering down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward, rise up to warrior one. And then keep your arms moving in a big circle until you grasp your fingertips behind you. Good, and release your hands. Pull your knuckles down as you reach your heart up toward the sky. And then exhale, fold yourself inside your right leg, coming into humble warrior. Good, press into those feet. Don't let your hips sink. And then pull your right hip back and in so it's more squared forward. Good. Now sort of jutting out to the side, pull it into the midline. Let the crown of your head pull you down. One more inhale here. Good, as you exhale, bring your torso halfway up, release your left hand down to the mat, come onto the ball of your left toe, and then start to take this nice open twist. Good, keep the deep bend in your right knee, keep squeezing into the midline, so the opening in the outer right hip. Gaze is up and back. One more breath here. As you exhale, right hand comes down, step back, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward to a lunge, rise up to warrior one. As you exhale, keep your arms moving back behind you. Interlace your fingers, pull your knuckles down as you lift your heart, bending deeply into your left knee. And then exhale, pull yourself forward and down, humble warrior. Good. Really press, feel like take focus to the left heel. Really press that into the mat. Feel your hips lift up a little bit and then pull them into the midline. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, torso comes halfway up. Release your right palm to the mat. Spin up onto your right toes as you take this nice open twist. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath here, stretching out a little bit further. As you exhale, left hand down, step your left foot back, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhale, right foot steps forward, rise up to warrior one. As you exhale, open it up to warrior two. Inhale, flip and reverse your warrior. And as you exhale, take your version of extended side angle. So modified with your arm on your leg, hand to the outside, hand to the inside, or take a bind. Good, wherever you are, you're opening your heart toward the side of the room, stacking your hips, pressing into your feet. Do not let those hips sink down. Inhaling here and exhaling. One more breath. Next inhale, bring yourself all the way back up to warrior two. Straighten your front leg, reach your arms up overhead. Take your left hand to grab your right wrist and take a stretch to the back of the room. Good, kind of like a reverse triangle here. Gazing up above your elbow, finding a nice side stretch here. And then as you exhale, extend your arms out to either side. Scoop your back foot in a tiny bit. As you inhale, start to send the crown of your head forward toward the front of the room as your hips move back. Exhale, take it into triangle pose. Good. Again, think about stacking your hips. Almost like you feel like a piece of toast in a slot twister here. So your shoulders are stacked, your hips are stacked. Gazing up at your fingertips, but you're coming straight up out of your shoulder. Good. Maybe lift your right toes up off the mat. Really press into that whole row of knuckles where the big toe mound is. Good. Press into your foot. Maybe find some more openness, find some more engagement. And then gently drop those toes back into the mat. Inhale here. As you exhale, press into your feet. Come all the way up to stand. Turn your right toes toward the left side of the mat. Good. Feel your feet nice and strong. As you inhale, start to open your heart as you press your waist down, shoulders back. And then as you exhale, lead with your heart as you fold down over the straddled legs. Let your hands fall to the mat. Let the crown of your head pull you down. Good. If the crown of your head is on the mat, you can come into your tripod headstand. If it's super easy here and you wanna stay folded, maybe try bringing your feet in a little bit closer, shortening that stance. Really pulling the weight more towards your toes here, so you feel some openness in your hamstrings here. Inhaling and exhaling. Good, if you're upside down, start to make your way back. Think about planting your feet back where they started. And then everyone, as you inhale, bring your hands to your waist, torso comes parallel to the mat, send your hips back in space. Good, and while we're here, keep your hands on your waist, bend into your knees. Toes are still facing forward here. Good, keep sending your hips back, feel this nice opening in your inner thighs. Good, and either keep your hands on your waist or start to stretch your arms forward, up by your ears, reaching ahead. Good, upper arms by your ears. As you extend your hips back, you reach your fingertips forward. One more breath here. As you inhale, bring your hands back to your waist if they're extended. Come to stand all the way back up. Right toes turn back toward the front of the room as you make your way to warrior two. One more time, just flip and reverse. Reverse your warrior here. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands all the way down. Step back, lowering down to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, rise up to warrior one. Exhale, open it up to warrior two. Inhale, flip and reverse your warrior. Keep bending deeply into that front knee as you reach away. And then exhale, use that side body space to come into your extended side angle, right? Wherever you're comfortable, wherever you feel the challenge. If binding's in your practice today, that's amazing. Wherever you are, your heart's facing the side of the room. Think about stacking your hips. Focus on your feet, pressing into the mat. One more breath here. If you're bound, release it. And then we come back up to warrior two. As you inhale, straighten your left leg, reach your arms up overhead. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and take this nice big stretch toward the back of the room. Keep pressing into your feet, tuck your tail under. And as you exhale, arms come parallel. Adjust your feet for triangle, maybe shortening your stance a tiny bit. And then inhale, really exaggerate as you lengthen your torso forward. And then exhale, left hand comes down, wherever it lands, right? Trying not to press too much into that hand. Find some buoyancy in your torso. Tuck each tailbone down toward its respected heel as you stack your hips, opening up a little bit further. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, stretch a little bit further. Next inhale, press it all into your feet, come all the way to stand. Turn all your toes toward the right side of your mat. Interlace your fingers here. Toes are facing the same direction, all in the same direction. Pull your knuckles down as you open your heart, tuck your tailbone here, and then exhale, let your heart lead the way as you fold it down, letting the crown of your head fall toward the mat. And then before you start to take your arms overhead, I want you to squeeze your palms together like in a fist, your fingers are interlaced. Pull your knuckles up toward the sky, your shoulders away from your ears, and then start to take them overhead. Right? They may not go as far, but you're gonna open up to new parts of your shoulder, folding safely. Inhale here. Exhale. Next, inhale, press your feet, come all the way up to stand. Left toes face forward, release your arms into warrior two. Inhale, flip and reverse your warrior. And as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down, step back, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, let's bring our knees to the mat, pausing in child's pose, toes together, knees apart so your chest can fall down in between your thighs. Letting your third eye come down to the mat. You can either pull your hands behind you or reach them forward. Just catch back up with yourself here, right? Reset. Catch your breath. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Beautiful. If your arms are behind you, walk them back out in front of you. Everyone press your palms into the mat. Tuck your toes. Return yourself to downward facing dog. From your down dog, lift your right leg all the way up to the sky, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, pull your your knee in towards your chest, pausing here, spreading your shoulder blades. Inhale, sweep it back up to three-legged dog. And as you exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. We'll meet in high lunge. So you may have to adjust your feet a little bit here. You want to feel strength in your feet so that you're not sinking down, right? Nice strong back leg. As you inhale, sweep your arms up toward the sky if they're not there already. Breathing here. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Start to tip your torso forward. Engage your core here. Make your way into warrior three. Good. Take it slow. Engage your core for stability. Squeeze your outer hips in. Flex those back toes down toward the mat. Inhale here. Exhale. Next inhale, right hand comes down. Start to open your hips to the side, stacking them, right? Left hip on top of right as you open up into half moon pose. Only gazing up if you have your balance. Keeping that top leg nice and active, pressing toward the back of the room. And while you're in half moon, I want you to just bend your right knee a little bit here. Open your hips a little more in this bent knee position. And then with that openness again, straighten your leg. Maybe feel a little more opening in your hips as you do that. One more breath. As you exhale, bring your left hand down, square your hips. Good, your left toes are now facing down toward the mat. Your legs are making a right angle. And sweep your right arm up toward the sky for this twisted half moon, gazing up at your right fingertips, squeezing your outer hips in. One more breath here. As you exhale, right hand comes down. Take a moment here to inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, walk your hands back toward your feet, coming into a standing leg split for just a few breaths, right? Maybe taking the bind with one or both hands. Maybe bending a little bit into that standing leg to reach your toes a little bit higher. Inhale here. And exhale. Next inhale, lift your torso halfway as you bend into your right knee. Send your left foot to the back of the mat, returning to a lunge. And then exhale, step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up toward the sky, three-legged dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Hug your knee in toward your nose or your chest. Pause there, use your core. Inhale, sweep it all the way back up. Three-legged dog. Next inhale, come forward to plank again. Take a breath to hug your knee up toward your chest. And as you exhale, gently place your foot in between your hands. Get your feet set up nice and strong. Come into high lunge. Breathing here. Good, tucking that tailbone down, especially on the right side, to lengthen the whole front of the right hip. Bending deeply into your left knee here, gaze is up. One more breath. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Tip your torso forward, engage your core, and start to make your way into warrior three. Squeezing your outer hips in, dial your right toes down toward the mat. Lift your heart, right? So your torso is kind of falling down, parallel, but you're lifting your heart forward. One more breath. As you exhale, left hand comes down. Peel yourself open into your half moon pose here. Stacking your hips, nice strong top leg. And again, micro bend that left leg now. Open your hips a little bit more, then straighten back out into that space. One more breath here. As you exhale, right hand comes down, square your hips, right toes facing down, hips squeezing in. As you peel open to the left, gazing at your left fingertips. Good, keeping your hips square, twisting from the rib cage. One more breath here. As you exhale, bring your left hand down, take a breath here, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, start to walk your hands back towards your feet as you lift your right leg a little higher, the standing split. Breathing here. Maybe micro bending to find more space. And as you exhale, gently let your right foot float to the back of the mat, returning to a low lunge. Exhale, step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, bend your knees deeply. You're gonna rise up to Utkatasana, stay in Utkatasana. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We're gonna take a twist to the right. So really hook your left elbow on the outside of your right thigh. Spread your fingers nice and wide in this prayer. And then stack your elbows one on top of the other. Good, and then twist your heart toward your thumbs there. Gaze is up. Sink your hips deeper. One more breath here. Next inhale, come back to center, stay low, Utkatasana. I know your legs are burning. Exhale, switch sides. Twisting to the left, really pressing where you find the contact, using that to twist yourself a little bit deeper. Pressing your hands in prayer, pressing your arm into your leg, twisting your heart. One more breath. Next inhale, come back to center, Utkatasana. Bring your hands to heart center here, and then slowly with a straight back, start to sit yourself down onto your heels. Let your heels pop up off the mat. Squeezing into the midline here. Engage your core, bouncing on your toes here. Pull your shoulders down. One more breath. As you exhale, gently let yourself fall back onto your sit bones, meeting in Navasana. Good. Bend your straight legs. Core is engaged, heart is open here. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down to low boat. Hover your heels. You're on your shoulder blades here. Good. Chin is tucked down, looking at your toes. Hold it here. Belly toward the mat. You can pulse if it feels good. 2 more breaths. Inhale, pop it all the way back up. High boat. Straighter bent legs. You can even try to lift your arms up by your ears and open your heart. Good. 2 more breaths. As you exhale, bring it back down to low boat. Let's all pump for 10 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pop it back up. Place your feet on the mat. Hug your knees in and pause. Whew. Good. Then send keeping your right knee bent, send your left leg straight out in front of you. Take your left hand back by your left hip. Reach your right arm all the way up toward the sky. And as you exhale, reach forward inside your right leg. Then reach your arm around your shin, taking the bind if you can here. Joining your hands behind you. Squeeze that right leg in toward the midline as you lengthen your spine forward as you inhale. And then exhale, fold it down. Most important is to keep pressing your right foot in the mat and squeezing your right leg in toward your torso. Inhale here. And exhale. Next inhale, come all the way back up. Keep your right knee bent. You're going to bring your shin parallel to the mat and cradle your shin in between your elbows here. Good. Try to keep it parallel. Lift your heart. Your shin may move down a little bit. You want a tall spine with an open heart, and then start to hug your shin in towards your chest. Pausing here, rocking the baby. Or if you want to move on, you can take your leg up over your shoulder like a backpack strap. Extend your right hand out to the side. Your left hand grabs the outside of your right foot from the top and extend open into compass pose. Keeping your sit bones grounded, opening your heart. Keep pressing your right arm and your right leg into each other to open up a little bit more. 1 more breath. Next inhale, come back to center. We'll back our way out of it. Take a breath to cradle your shin. Good. Then grab behind your leg. Just give it a stretch up into the air. And then exhale, let your right leg fall to the mat. Bend your left knee in. The left foot is on the ground. A little bit of distance between your thigh and your foot here. Right hand is down for balance. As you reach your left arm up, finding space. Exhale, start to fold forward inside your left leg. Reaching around for the bind if you can. Take an inhale here as you lengthen your spine and squeeze your leg in. And then exhale, fold it forward. Try not to lose focus. It's so hard of your right foot here, right? It's not like spaghetti kind of hanging out. Try to flex your right toes up toward the mat. Inhale here, 1 more breath. Exhale. Next inhale, bring your torso back up to seated. Take your shin parallel to the mat as your elbows cradle your knee and the sole of your foot here. Good. Take a moment here to lengthen your spine, lift your heart. Rock it side to side like a baby. And if this feels good, stay here. Or you can move on and take your knee and your leg up over your shoulder as you extend your left arm out to the side. Grab up over the top of your foot with your right hand and then reach it up as you straighten into compass with a nice tall spine here. Gazing up. Good, keep pressing your left arm and left leg into each other to open up a little bit more. And then as you exhale, start to come back out of it. Cradling your shin. Good, extending your left leg up toward the sky, letting it fall down to the mat. Good, hands out in front of you. Tuck your tailbone and slowly as you can, feeling each vertebra kind of making its way into the mat. Arrive down on your backs here. Good. Setting up for 3 back bends. Any variations, any combination that you like. So you can take a half wheel to start or all 3. Wherever you are, you're going to bend your knees, place the soles of your feet into the mat. Good, just kind of reach your fingertips down towards your heels. Just make sure you can kind of tickle your heels there. That'll give you a good idea of your placement on the mat. If you're coming into full wheel, take your hands by your ears. If you're coming into half wheel, you're going to press into your feet to lift your hips. And then clasp your hands under you as you shimmy your shoulders in to lift your hips a little bit higher. Good, wherever you are, you're going to tuck your tail down towards your knees, opening up the front body here. Breathing in, pressing into the mat with those feet to lift a little bit higher. And as you exhale, come all the way back down. Bring your hands to your third eye to reset. Take a breath there. Filling up. Exhale, let it go. Good, second back bend, your choice. Again, half wheel or full wheel. If you're coming into full wheel, really press your hands into the mat. Take notice here, make sure the heels of your hands are getting as much weight as like the fingertips. Squeeze your knees in, press your feet into the mat here, tuck your tail. Open your arms, send your heart through your upper arms here. And then exhale, tuck your chin, come all the way down. Again, hands in prayer at your third eye. Sucking in all of this beautiful energy, searing it inside of you when you do this. And then set up for your third back bend, your choice. Right, the third one's always the hardest. So dedicate it to somebody. After 5 breaths, come all the way back down onto your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest here, and then bend your knees to grab the soles of your feet from the outsides of your feet. Coming into happy baby here. Good, before you start to pull your knees down towards your armpits, really think about lengthening your whole spine down onto the mat, even your lower back. Good, your sacrum's down on the mat. And from there, start to pull your feet down, pull your knees down toward the mat or your armpits here. Maybe with holding the legs, start to straighten one out to the side and bring it back in. Take the other leg out straight to the side, not losing contact with your back. Maybe taking both legs out to the side. Exhale here. Next inhale, bend your knees back in, release your feet, hug your knees in towards your chest. And then rock and roll all the way up to seated here. Extending your legs out in front of you, really grounding your sit bones down into the mat as you reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, let your heart lead the way as you fold yourself down into Paschimottanasana, forward bend. Good, feel like your hips are sliding out from under you as you pull your heart forward. Release your neck, no tension in the neck. Inhaling and exhaling, really sending that breath to your lower back. Inhale and exhale. Next inhale, I want you to kind of stay folded. I want you to drag your fingers along your legs as you start to roll yourself down. Keep your chin tucked in. Try to pull your belly in and up as you do this. Using your core to move you all the way back down onto your mat. Keep pulling your toes in the opposite direction as you fold it back down. Oh. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Really feel your left leg pressing down into the mat here. Take your left heel, press it into the mat as you flex your foot. Feeling the stretch all the way down your left leg. It's like we're working with our right leg, but the stretch is really in the left leg here. Press that leg down into the mat. Then grab behind your right thigh to straighten your leg up toward the sky. Maybe walk your hands up your leg toward your foot and gently hug your leg in toward your chest, pulling it in. One more breath here, feeling the back of your leg opening up. And then take your right big toe or the outside of your right foot with your right hand and gently let your right leg fall out to the side, but only until your hips are can stay on the ground evenly, right? You don't want your hips popping up. So keep your hips grounded and then only open up as much as you can while staying in that position. Good. Keep pressing that left leg all the way down into the mat and pressing out in front of you. One more breath. Next inhale, bring it back up to center. Switch hands. Take the outside of your foot with your left hand and then your right arm extends to the side for a twist. Good. Opening up the outside of your right hip. One more breath here. Inhale, come back to center for just another breath. Grab your foot or your leg with both hands. Pull it in a little bit more toward your torso. And then as you exhale, let that leg lengthen back down to the mat in front of you. Switching sides, left leg hugs in. Bend that knee, really hug it in toward your chest. Lengthen that right leg. Really feel the engagement here before we move on. Keep that engagement. Flex your right toes. And then start to straighten your left leg. Maybe walking your hands up toward your feet. Pulling that leg in toward your chest. Find a nice length in your hamstring. One more breath. And keeping your right foot held, either peace fingers or grabbing your big toe, or you can also try grabbing the outside on the pinky side, right? Different angle of the stretch, and let your left foot fall out to the side. Keep extending that right leg down the mat. Don't lose that extension. You should feel some nice engagement in the front of your right hip when you do this. One more breath. Inhale back through center, switch your grip, right hand grabs the outside of the left foot as you let it fall to the right side. Extend your left arm out to the side, gaze over your left fingertips. Good, feel the nice opening in that outer hip. Think about pulling your hips down toward the mat, like almost like you're lengthening your waist. Good, finding a little extra stretch there. Inhale back up to center. Take another breath to pull your leg in towards your chest. Good. As you exhale, let your left foot fall down to the mat. Setting up for a quick inversion here, either waterfall or shoulder stand. Always important to get your feet up above your heart, right? Reverse your blood flow, kind of seal in this energy. So if you're a waterfall, your whole spine is on the ground, your legs are right up above you. Or you can pop your hips up, take your hands to your lower back, shimmy your shoulders in here. Take up lots of space on your back with your hands here. Nice big foundation. Tuck your tail up toward your toes, or up toward your heels, I should say. Squeeze those legs in, keep them active even though they're above you. One more breath here. And as you exhale, let your toes start to fall behind your head, coming into cloud pose. If your toes touch, release your hands behind you down the mat, interlace your fingers, and then pull your fingers and toes in the opposite direction. Sending breath to your lower back. And then bend your knees on either side of your head, giving your ears a nice hug. All right. Letting your shins fall heavy down to the mat. Next, inhale, straighten your legs back out, extend your arms down the mat, and very slowly roll yourself back down onto your back. This time, point your toes, really press your heels in together, engage your core, and as slowly as you can, let your big toes pull you down to your back. Good. Lengthening your front body. Shimmy your elbows down toward your hips here, finishing up with the fish pose. Really press into the mat to open your heart and then let your head fall behind. Prime your head down toward the mat. And 3 times, just in through your nose, let it all go through your mouth. Releasing all this last bit of energy here. In. Out. One more time, breathe it in. Exhale it out, tuck your chin in towards your chest. Make your way back down onto the mat for Shavasana. Unless there's any other inversion or pose that you'd like to do to wrap up your practice and complete it. Right, this is your time, so take this. Shavasana, you may be ready for it, right? And commit to it. Slowly start to bring awareness back to your body and your breath. Bringing small movements to your fingers and your toes, maybe rocking your head side to side. Take a deep inhale as you stretch your arms up overhead, pulling your feet in the opposite direction. As you exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a hug. Keeping your eyes closed, rolling through either side. We'll meet back in our seated position here. Right, keeping it turned inward for just a few more moments. Taking notice of how you feel. Shrug your shoulders up by your ears, roll them back, open your heart. Check in with yourself. Notice the difference. And we'll seal in all of this love, all of this energy with Loka Samasta. Breathing in all together. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your hands together, heart center, bow your chin in towards your chest. Taking this final moment on your mat to thank yourself, honor yourself, and celebrate yourself, knowing that the true teacher lies right within you. Bring your prayer to your third eye, sealing in this energy, sealing in this practice. We bow forward together. Namaste. Hope you feel invigorated and amazing for your day after this express practice.